Are you an avid trophy hunter, or are you just after loads of spinels for bonus equipment in Resident Evil 4? I'm Wes from Recommended Playing, and we're going to be completing every single merchant request in Resident Evil 4. You'll get the Nice One Stranger trophy for completing one request, and the Jack of All Trades trophy for completing all 19 requests. You'll also be asking yourself, why can't I hold all of these spinels? These requests are usually best done as they come up, but you can do some a little bit early. Let's work through the requests in order, starting at the beginning of the game, of course. The first merchant request is in the first chapter. After the battle at the village, you'll end up at the Windmill Farm. You should start off by clearing out the immediate area of enemies so you can do the blue medallions without being interrupted. Now you can double back to the typewriter near the entrance. This is a very simple lap around the area. From the typewriter, head outside and wrap around the building. You'll find the first blue medallion on the corner of the shack. Shoot or knife it. Now head forward and hop the nearby fence. Aim into the barn through the windows and shoot the second medallion. Continue to your left into the storage shed. Head inside and aim at the rafters to find the third medallion. Now head right and continue forward. Hop the fence and then look at the very large barn. Aim at the blue medallion in the large window. Shoot it, and that's 4 of 5. Move towards the barn now and then turn to your left. Wrap around the north side of the barn and then head to the fence. The last blue medallion is there. Shoot it, and the request is complete. You won't actually meet the merchant until Chapter 2, so progress through the game. The next request is in Chapter 2. You'll have lost all of your gear. Get through the factory doing the stealth and knife combat tutorial. Afterwards, pick up your gear again. With your gear in hand, try exiting the factory. You'll meet up with the merchant. You should save your game now. There will be a new request to collect nearby. You'll want to do a quick second lap to kill rats for another merchant request. Head back inside the factory and turn right to get into the hallway. The first rat will be at the end. Simply shoot it or use your knife. These rats have a very set loop that they run around in, so you can effectively knife them if you wish. But that's the first rat down. Continue back towards the area with the furnaces and bear traps. Jump through the window. Look down and shoot the second rat. This will be running in circles under you at this point. The final rat for this request is by the furnaces across the room. Just shoot this rat and you're done pest control. You should also collect the treasures from the furnaces. Now exit the factory and collect your rewards from the merchant. Chapter 3 has 3 new requests. The first request you'll receive will be to sell 3 Vipers to the merchant for the Viper Hunter request. This is a very easy one, but it will be an ongoing project. You'll be tasked with going to the church as part of the main story, so make your way there now. In front of the church is a graveyard. This has a request that you can do right now. After witnessing the establishing shot, simply head forward. There should be a Ganado digging a grave. Take him out with a stealth kill. Immediately to his left, you'll see a twin gravestone. Take out your knife and break the 2 symbols on the twin graves. After smashing them both, that'll be one more request done, the easiest one in the game by far. Now you'll want to continue from the church to the lake. The bridge and scaffolding area has lots of enemies, so you should take them out. Then you'll want to enter the shack on your left. The crate on the workbench always has a Viper. Equip your knife and swing at the box multiple times to break the crate and kill this Viper. Pick this up. This is the first one of 3. Now you'll need to continue towards the lake. You'll get to a quarry area and you'll find the merchant request paper for the next set of blue medallions. Pick this up, it marks them on your map. The quarry should be dealt with by first chucking a grenade at the group of crows. This will get you lots of treasure. Then there's 2 dogs to take out in this area before it's safe. Once the quarry is cleared, there is 1 blue medallion. Check your map for details. You'll want to position yourself near the west side of the quarry. Look for the giant locked gate. Now look up and to your right. The blue medallion is on the makeshift watchtower. Aim and shoot it for 1 of 5 for the second medallion request. You'll need to continue onwards now to the docks. There is 1 more blue medallion here. You'll want to run down to the boat. After reaching it, simply turn around and look under the dock. There will be a blue medallion here just kinda hanging out. Shoot it, and that's 2 of 5. Loot all of the chests and crates in this area for treasure, and then head over to the fish farm now. The fish farm has 3 blue medallions and lots of Vipers swimming around. You should clear the area of enemies first before proceeding. It just makes this a lot easier and cleaner. Once you've cleared out all the enemies, you can reorient yourself. I'm going to start from the location you find the gas can. This is required for main story progress. There were 2 Vipers in this immediate area, so if you can find them, pick them up for the Vipers request. There are lots of vipers in the fish farm, so just keep an eye out for them as you run around for the blue medals. But back on topic, from this door you'll want to step into the water once again. Now head left and under this little bridge. Once you cross under, turn to your right and shoot the third blue medallion. There's also a chest to your left, so make sure that you pick it up as well. Now double back to the door to reorient yourself. Climb up the ladder on the right and follow the path forwards. You'll want to turn to your left and jump down about midway across. The blue medal is hanging between some loose boards to your left. Just orient yourself and shoot it for the fourth medal. The fifth and final medal for this request is located inside one of the shacks. Run forward and take a right. Follow the ramp upwards and you may find a viper here, so make sure to grab it. Now turn right into the shack and get the last blue medallion. 3 requests done and dusted for this chapter. On to Chapter 4. Chapter 4's Egg Hunt and Catch Me a Big Fish are very easy to accomplish together. This is a very simple, barely perceivable deviation off the beaten path. You'll need to progress through this chapter until you get access to a new boat. This is just a quick loop around the immediate area. With a new boat, all you need to do is head to your right, back to your original boat. In front of the boathouse, you'll find a large Lunker bass. Pull out some harpoons and throw it at it. After you've skewered it, simply drive your boat over to it and collect it. This Lunker bass is huge and takes up a lot of inventory space. You should reorganize your inventory. You may need to send something like a shotgun to typewriter storage. You can pick it up again once we return to the merchant. The next request is easy enough to fulfill. You'll want to head to the east side of the lake by continuing to your right. Just follow the lake until you find a dock. This is Chicken Island. Chicken Island is notable because a golden chicken egg is always available at the far right side. Just head around the stack of crates and claim your golden chicken egg. That is the final request for this chapter. All you need to do is head back to the merchant at your convenience and sell the Lunker bass and gold chicken egg, and you've completed all of the requests in Chapter 4. You can also finish off selling any remaining vipers you may have as well. The final village request is a savage mutt. This is in Chapter 5 after you've finally met up with Ashley. You're gonna need to pick up the paper for this one. This is by the merchant just outside the village. You can't miss it. Grab the paper off the wall by the door as you exit the area. This is a little deceptive. It says the savage mutt is at the chief's house, which is true, but also not true. You're going to want to head to the chief's house. You can choose to clear the village area of enemies if you want. This is actually where we'll be fighting the dog in question, so clearing the enemies is a good idea. Regardless, you'll want to head back to the chief's house. The location is marked on your map. Once you're back at the chief's house, you should get some treasure. You should head upstairs and use Ashley to boost yourself into the attic. To trigger the dog spawning, you need to spend some time in the village chief's house, so you may as well collect the treasures in the attic for more cash. After you've looted the attic, you should head back to the village. The dog should be outside the gate back and should run away when you attempt to approach. If you don't see the dog, you should spend some more time back in the village chief's house and then try again. Once you've seen the dog, follow it back to the village. These mini-boss style encounters are difficult and take a lot of resources. You should use whatever you have available to damage the mutt. Flashbangs do work, but they are not an instant kill. They do, however, open up the dog to a powerful knife counter. Otherwise, blasting it with your handgun, rifle, and shotgun should all work. Using grenades is a good option as well. This fight is tough and a resource drain, but you should be able to kill it relatively painlessly. Once it's down for the count, the next time you see the merchant, you'll get 8 spinels for your trouble. That's the final village request done. On to the castle in Chapter 7. The next request is at the start of the castle in Chapter 7. You should clear the area out before doubling back for the blue medallions. Work through the area clearing out enemies and blast open the door with the cannon. Inside the door, you'll find a paper with the request. As usual, this marks them on your map. Now you should double all the way back to the start of the area, and let's shoot those medallions. From the base of the castle, head up the first staircase. Stop at the top and aim for the blue medallion on the tree to your right. That's 1 of 6. Now continue along the path to the next staircase. Climb up and then pass through this level and head to the next staircase to the final floor. Take the first right and stand on this little bridge area. Now look forward and to your right to see a blue medallion hanging from the scaffolding. Shoot this and there's only 4 more. Continue moving forward and to your right and you'll wrap around to a destroyed building. Enter it. Look to the next door and shoot the blue medallion above it. Halfway there. Keep moving forward now to the area with the cannon. Stand directly in front of the cannon and look into the little gazebo. The 4th blue medallion is in a window. Shoot it. Now you should drop down to the lower level. This one's a little bit hard to spot. You may want to exit and double back. This one's just hanging from the ceiling. Just shoot it, and there's only one medallion left. Now exit this area and climb up the ladder outside to get back to the upper level of the castle. Follow the ramp and drop down to get back to the door. Head left and get to the chest. The last blue medallion is right beside it on your left. Just smash it. You're done requests for now. Just head back inside the castle and talk to the merchant to get your rewards. Your next set of requests will be in Chapter 9. This is more shooting blue medallions and more rat exterminations. This time in the Grand Hall. The blue medallions can be finished right now, but the rats will linger into Chapter 10. We're going to start at the right side and work our way around. Head upstairs and enter the door on the right. You'll have a nice little path to the goat head, but you'll be pushed down. You actually want this, so don't try and use any of those cheeky skips to avoid it. This is a fairly lengthy combat gauntlet, so I would suggest clearing out all of the enemies, and then once the area is cleared out, you can come back for the medallions here. Well, medallion. After you've cleared out the area, simply head to the lowered area near the bridge. There's one medallion hanging under the balcony where the lever is. Just head there now and smash it. 5 more to go. Double back to the main area of the Grand Hall now. I like to head back to the merchant here. But instead of going back to the merchant just yet, you should head back towards the door to the courtyard. Now you can turn and shoot the second medallion hanging under one of the archways. This is a quick shot, and now you should head back to the merchant. Now it's time to head for the dining hall. Head back to the main area and then up the stairs and to your left. You can grab the pest control request by the door if you want. Now simply head inside. The first rat is actually right here. Just stop by the couches and take out the first rat. You can do the puzzle quickly here by placing Ashley and then sitting down in the correct spot. That's the head available now. Now you should head a little to your left and look at the window. Hidden behind the curtain is the blue medallion. Shoot it and we're at 3 of 6. You can double back to the merchant and save at this point. 3 medals left and 2 rats to go. Head back up the main staircase and this time head left and loop up to the next staircase. Now you should stop and look to the chandelier on your left. There's a blue medallion hanging inside of it. Shoot it and you're down to 2. Head through the door behind you now. This is going to be a combat section, but before you drop down, head to your right by the blue curtains. There's another blue medallion hidden here. Shoot number 5. Now you can head down and do the Plaga Knight combat gauntlet. This is a little tough, but just get through it and you'll gain access to the next area. After opening the gate with Ashley, be on the prowl for a rat. This one is just sitting right in front of the chest. Turn and shoot it before grabbing the puzzle cube. 1 rat left. And that's all of the rats you can do for now, but there's one final medallion to get. You'll want to head to the Chimera statue. This time run past it and you'll find the final blue medallion hidden behind a pillar. Shoot it and that request is over and done with. Now place the 3 heads on this statue to finish this segment. You'll need to play as Ashley now, but once you're finished you'll have access to the library with Leon. You'll want to head into the library now, and next to the entrance by a gramophone is the request paper for the Merciless Knight. This is in the library where the last rat is, so it's time to double dip, and yes, you have to pick up this note. The final rat is close by. Just head around into the L-shaped hallway. Duck under the debris and then turn to your left. The rat should be scurrying to the other side now. Shoot it and the pest control request is completed. Now just head down to the basement for the Merciless Knight request. Head through the area and straight down to the clock entrance. Now just head down the stairs and enter the elevator. The Gold Knight here is accompanied by 2 smaller ones. The most prudent course of action is to take out the 2 knights first. Shoot them in the plaga near their necks to expose them and then hit them with a kick. Then you can dump a flash grenade to kill them easily. In typical Miniboss fashion, the Gold Knight is very tough and an ammo dump. You can parry it if you're bold, but running around and kiting it seems to work the best. The plaga is on the back, so it's difficult to expose it. You should just keep dumping your weapon of choice into it, and eventually it will go down. You'll get a yellow diamond for your trouble. Now you just need to turn in these 2 requests at the merchant, and you'll be done request hunting for a chapter. In Chapter 11, after the wacky minecart adventure with Lewis, you'll be in an area with many Novistadors. You'll need to shoot the large hanging hive above you in 4 locations to seal it up. This is barely a deviation, and you can get it done incredibly quickly. From the typewriter, well, you can just immediately look up to the giant nest above you. The first eye will be visible with only some slight movement. Your handgun is more than adequate for shooting these, but a rifle will work in a pinch. Shoot it, and there's only 3 left. Now you'll want to reorient yourself to drop down from the destroyed bridge. This is the way you have to go anyways. Drop down a second and then third and fourth time. At the bottom, you can find the next part of the request. Look up and to your left and shoot the second node. We're halfway there. Continue up the pathway and you'll find the request paper for the insect hive. This isn't required, but grab it and the nearby treasures anyways. From the paper, head to your right and move through the mine shaft. At the exit, shoot some Novistadors to clear them out and then look up at the hive. You should be able to see both remaining nodes from this spot. Look to your left for the third one, and once you've cleared it, aim up and you'll find the final node. Clear it out and you're done with the request. Nothing to worry about until the next chapter now. You can claim your rewards at the merchant before the elevator. Chapter 12 is the last two castle merchant requests. They are a little bit out of the way and require some minor backtracking, but it doesn't take a lot of time to finish them. Head back up to the castle and the two papers will be immediately on your left as you exit the elevator. Let's start with Jewel Thief. Your goal is to head all the way back to the courtyard. For this one, you'll want to avoid the tram and open the gate to get back into the ballroom. You can do a quick look around for any treasures you might have missed, but your goal is just to head right from the door. This is a fairly painless trip back. Just unlock the gate and continue the fairly linear path back to the Grand Hall. Now this is a simple pass-through. Head down the stairs after the statue and approach the large doors. You'll be in the courtyard now with a crow in front of you. Just run forward and down the stairs and the crow will fly away. Take out any of the cultists here. Now follow the crow through and to your right. Look where the crow lands on the rooftop and shoot the nest underneath it. This will drop the scratched emerald. All you need to do now is collect it. There's a merchant to your left, so feel free to head there and sell the scratched emerald to complete the request. One down and only one left in the castle. The Disgrace of the Salazar family is just as easy as this one, but there will be a little bit more combat involved. You'll want to double back all the way to the ballroom. This is a bit of a trip, but there's no combat, so just hoof it all the way back to the ballroom. This time you'll want to head back to the room with the double Garradors on the way to where you were dropped into the depths. This is just a straight pass through the ballroom. The door will be closed here and there'll be lots of cultists and some plagas in here. You should know the drill at this point in the game. Just clear out the room as fast and painlessly as you can, and then you should head into the throne room. From the entrance, you'll want to head up the staircase and then turn to your right. Use the puzzle cube here to unlock the cabinet. This is a fairly simple affair, just get the semicircle on the top right. The cabinet contains a golden chicken egg. You'll want to equip this one. Equip this at the portrait of Ramon Salazar and you'll have completed the request. In case you didn't know, he's the guy with the wacky hair. This is a failable quest. If you accidentally eat the chicken egg instead of equipping it, or miss Salazar's portrait, you should reload a previous save and try again. Your autosave should be just fine. That's the final request in the castle. All that's left is the island now. This is a few chapters later, so come back once you're at chapter 14. Chapter 14 has the most merchant requests, and it's a pretty lengthy chapter. First up is Blue Medallions once again. You'll pick up the paper on the way to the cargo depot, which is where the request is. Now you'll have to head outside and get to the cargo depot. This is a fairly easy set. Just like before, it's just a quick lap through this area. Start by blasting the hidden treasure above the door. This will get you an Alexandrite. Now view your map to get oriented on the locations. You'll want to start by heading up the staircase and then turn around to face the building you just left. About halfway up, you'll find the first blue medallion hanging from the staircase directly in front of you. Shoot it, and you only need 4 more. Now you should move a little bit forward and look down and to your left. You'll find the next blue medallion next to the large tank past the steel barricade. This is another quick shot, and you only need 3 more. The rest of the medallions are in the cargo area, so you'll need to jump down the ladder. There are enemies in here, so you'll need to deal with them along the way. Take out the first 2 soldiers however you see fit. Now turn to your left and run all the way to the end. Smash the crates nearby and then turn around to find the next blue medallion hanging off the shipping crate. 3 out of 5. You'll want to continue forwards towards the staircase now. You'll have to deal with a few more enemies here. At the base of the stairs, quickly wrap around the fence and then move forward. Aim for the blue medallion above the steel crates. 1 more to go. The last one is by the door, so head up the staircase. You may want to smash some barrels on the way. Near the top of the stairs, stop and turn to your left. Aim up and shoot the final blue medallion for this request. All done this one, but there's still more in this chapter. You'll need to keep progressing until you get to the waste disposal area. This is right after you and Ashley open a door after a regenerator. This request is another 4 rats to take down. The first of which is in this first hallway. Just head to the end and the rat will start running around. Blast it, and there's only 3 more to go. Now you need to head forward and make Ashley operate the crank. This will give you a bridge to get across to the other side. This next rat is a bit tricky to spot, but you can actually see it with the thermal scope pretty easily. Tell Ashley to use the crank, and then take out the rat using your rifle or pistol. That's halfway done. This area does get pretty hectic eventually, but for right now, all you need to do is work your way to the end. Nothing happens until you turn the power on. At the end of the area are the final 2 rats. Check your thermal scope to see them more easily. Start by sniping the first rat on the right, and then the second one on the left by the barrels. One more request down. Now all you need to do is get through this area by turning on the power. If you missed these rats, you can always do a second pass through this area without the enemies. Just double back after getting back to Ashley, and then get her to operate the crank again. There's a merchant right here, so drop off your 2 requests now as well. One final request for this chapter. After breaking down the concrete wall with the wrecking ball, you'll want to move forward. As with all mini-bosses, you'll need to pick up the paper to get the island's optional mini-boss. All you need to do is snatch up the paper from beside the lift. You'll need to double back to the incubation room. You'll need to fight an Iron Maiden with additional plagas inside, so a rifle is strongly recommended for this part. This is a quick double back to the incubation lab. You should have unlocked all the shortcuts here on the way, so it should be pretty fast to get back. You should send Ashley into one of the nearby lockers. The Iron Maiden will be inside the lab, so start by sniping it from outside the lab. Keep working down the plagas and use your knives to counter the grabs if it does occur. You can actually leave this area and stop the AI via the door. You can also do some shenanigans using the window to dodge it. Once you've taken out the lost plaga, the Iron Maiden will blow up in a storm of needles, and you'll be done the request for this chapter. This is a final hurrah for the requests. One last set of blue medallions to take on. The perfect distraction from watching Mike get absolutely blowed up. Clear out the Novistadors as you work your way to the request paper at the specimen storage door. This is your main objective for tracking down Ashley. At the door, pick up the paper and it will mark all the medallions on your map. Double back a short distance and then turn around to face specimen storage, and look to your left. There will be a medallion attached to the scaffolding about midway up. Shoot it for the first medallion. Now continue to head back to the large clearing. Turn around to face specimen storage once again, and shoot the medallion hanging in the ruins below you. That's 2 of 5. The next set of medallions requires you to go into these ruins now, so work to the large central building. Inside the entrance, you should snipe the 3rd blue medallion. Now you should head inside this area. Drop down the ladder and then work around the path to the underside of the ruins. Turn around about halfway to the end and look through the large archways. You should be able to see the 4th medallion on the rocks across the way. You'll likely need to shuffle around a bit for this one. A rifle may make this easier. While you're down here, grab the treasure and then you should double back topside. The final medallion is on the roof of the specimen storage area once again, so head back there now. On the path back up, stop and aim for the large cathedral window at the very top. You may want to use a rifle for this one. It's very hard to hit with a handgun. That's the 5th and final medallion, and the last request is complete. All that's left is to talk to the merchant. Pass through specimen storage, taking out the regenerators, and you'll eventually meet the merchant. Talk to him and you'll get the Jack of all trades trophy for completing every single request. Thank you for watching. A special thank you to my valued Patreon supporters. Recommended Playing is trying to become self-sustainable, and to do that, we're working towards getting and maintaining 1,000 supporters on Patreon. If you want to support the channel and see your name in the credits, there's a link to the Patreon in the description and pinned comment. You can also do the standard YouTube set of like, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. Also, click on that bell icon if you're so great. Becoming a channel member and/or leaving a super chat or super thanks is also greatly appreciated. See you for the next set of Resident Evil 4 videos.